The newest Genshin update contains a lot of new and insane content, and these are the top 5 new features coming with the 5.3 update. Alright, starting off, Act 5 of ARCHON quest is finally going to be available, and if you complete it within a specified duration, you'll obtain 500 Primo Gems, kinda the same way like in 5.2 update. Then, both mavuikas and citlali story quests will be available, and like before, if you complete them, you will obtain their materials to help level them up. Speaking of which, 2 new bosses will be added into the game. First one is going to be a world boss called Wayward Hermetic Spirit Speaker, and this boss mats will be needed for citlali to ascend. But then finally, we're getting a new weekly boss, Lord of Eroded Primal Fire. From what I understand, this is an Abyss Dragon, and the developers said it will try to destroy the arena as the fight keeps going on, while Night Soul aligned attacks will be effective against it. I mean, it makes sense that Natlan characters will be the best ones to use against this boss. Okay, moving over to events, there's a lot of exciting stuff happening here. First of all, the major event is going to be the yearly Lantern Ride, and it will have 3 activities. The first one is going to be some kind of a mishmash between Tetris and Match 3 minigame. Looks kinda cute to be honest. And then the second activity will have this battle mode, where you need to achieve a high score with certain teams. And then finally, there's also some kind of activity where you will need to present envelopes and bring happy wishes to Genshin characters. So, what are the rewards for doing all of this? Well, how about a new Xiangling outfit, plus a bunch of other goodies? If that's not enough, you will also be able to choose any one 4-star character from Liyue region, including Lanyan, the new 4-star Animo Shielder. Also, since it's the Lantern Year, the devs will have a login event for 10 intertwined fates and few other rewards, as well as another 1,600 Primo Gems that will be sent over in-game mail with yet again, more extra rewards, including Sanctifying Elixir. But wait, there's more! Those Xbox wings we saw in 5.2 will actually become available for free in 5.3 update, and I'm actually excited to get those green wings for my Dendro units. Now, there's also a new Hu Tao costume, but nothing has been said about whether it will be free, and judging from the past, it's more than likely this will be a paid costume. However, I hope you're ready for this next announcement because Shenhe is finally going to be available to pull for. Even the developers joked about it, so they're in on that cruel joke. Anyway, it's not just Shenhe, but basically, the characters you see on the screen as well as the weapons, you will be able to pull for them from the Chronicled Wish banner, which I believe was last seen in 4.5 version, but basically, you pick and choose who you want to pull for, and then there's the dreaded 50-50 chance, after which if you fail it, then the next time you pull a 5-star, it will definitely be the chosen unit or weapon. Honestly, I'm just waiting for that madman who will pick Chi-Chi from the banner and livestream it. Now, one last thing about Lantern Year, you can now go and buy Xiao Lanterns from the shop, which was only available during 1.3 update. And I don't know about you, but I've been holding on to them all this time, but now we can finally get more of it. Amazing. Okay, moving over to other events, this next one is actually pretty interesting. A new rhythm mode will be available, where you can choose one of the songs from the game and use any of the musical instruments you've managed to obtain so far, including the 2 new ones that will be available for purchase from this vendor. And it seems like you can also edit and share these songs for others in the community to try it out, so hopefully this mode stays permanently and we can chill and listen to some Genshin music. Next, an event called Emblem of Steadfast Valor will have you go through these arcade-like stages where you need to gather all the coins. I mean, seems cool, and you can also obtain some kind of commemorative gifts. Then, the next event called On the Trail of Behemoths, you will get to fight 4 different bosses, and the developers actually said the highest difficulty is going to be very grueling. Are they overhyping it, or will it be true? I don't know, we'll find out soon enough. But hey, at least Beetle Battle is making a comeback, and this time around, you will fight Abyss enemies. Wait, what? Beetles against Hilichurls and mages? They are evolving. Anyway, finally we have Overflowing Abundance, which not only will double the talent or weapon ascension mats, but you'll also be able to choose domains from any day while the event lasts. Please, Hoyo, just remove these day limits regardless of this event. Finally, for my Genius Invocation TCG viewers, all 5 of them, new cards will be added including some new Natlan units. And for the Envisaged Echoes game mode, Kazuha and Ganyu trail effects will be added to it. You know what? Forget about dragons and fantasy, and instead, let's ride some motorcycles. But seriously, Mavuika, the PYRO ARCHON, will be available in 5.3 update, and there's a lot going on with her kit. Okay, so basically, she has two modes. If you press the skill, she will summon this pyro attack that can even damage enemies when she's off-field, so I'm curious to see how good or bad it is compared to Xiangling's Pyronado. And then if you hold the skill, well, she mounts the bike and can deliver a lot of unique and wacky attacks. On top of that, she can use the bike to climb, glide, swim, and of course, ride it. If that's not enough, she also decreases cooldown on the Night Soul transmission ability Natlan characters have, so she's probably gonna be crazy for super fast exploration in Natlan. Oh, and did I mention mavuika doesn't actually use energy? Yeah, why bother with energy when her resource for the burst is called Fighting Spirit? And from what I understand, she charges it whenever anybody in the team consumes Night Soul points and or if anyone lands normal attacks. When she has enough points, she can unleash her burst and it will also power up her attacks with the bike. Honestly, there's a lot going on here, and I'll be releasing mavuika's pre-analysis video very soon. Okay, moving over, we have Citlali, who is a 5-star crowd catalyst unit, and she's able to provide shielding and buffs for the party. So her skill will create a shield and she will also gain Night Soul points, but when she exceeds the state, she will deal damage to enemies. While the burst, on the other hand, will deal damage and recover some Night Soul points. Still, probably the most interesting thing about her is that she can decrease hydro and pyro resistance of enemies whenever frozen or melt reaction is triggered. And she's probably gonna be super good with mavuika. Oh, and she can also jump high just like Auroran, and even glide with this massive plushie she has. Next, we have Lanyan, who, as I said before in the video, will be available as a free reward from the Lantern Rite event, and she actually looks pretty unique because her skill allows her to absorb one of the elements, so if the 250% effectiveness rule is applied to it, she will be able to shield us from 5 different elements effectively, but obviously depending on what enemies we're going up against and what teams she will be in. Oh, and her burst can also pull in the enemies, and I really hope it actually works properly, so we can have another good Anemo crowd controller. Finally, there's also Pyro Traveler. Not much has been said about them, but we will be able to unlock this element in the 5.3 version. Okay, now let's quickly go over the banners. In Phase 1, mavuika and Citlali, as well as their signature weapons, will be available to pull for, so goodbye Primo Gems, and maybe hello credit card debt. And then in Phase 2, Arlecchino and Clarence, as well as Lanyan, will be the featured characters. I mean, it's a bold choice to go with 2 new 5-stars in the same phase. I don't even remember if this ever happened in Genshin, so let me know in the comments what you think about this. I'll be honest, this isn't really a new feature for the upcoming 5.3 version, but it's a pretty major announcement regardless. So, interestingly enough, the developers shared some sneak peek news about their future plans, and this includes the last remaining tribe of Natlan, the Collective of Plenty, and they said Jensen and Varessa, who has been mentioned a few times in the story, will be representing this tribe. However, take a look at this next big reveal. We can see some shadowy silhouettes in this image, and the devs basically said all of these characters will be revealed in the next 6 months. Some of them are from Natlan, some from other regions, and few, they are a crucial part of the overall storyline. I mean, just looking at this person in the middle, is it just me, or does she look like SKIRK? Man, if she becomes playable, I don't know, this will be huge then. But yeah, moving over, a new zone will be added into the game called Nodkrai. I don't know how to pronounce it, but basically it is south of Snezhnaya, and this is an autonomous city that will feel very different from the other 6 nations. And then finally, a new gameplay mode will be added sometime in the future, but I'll be honest, they were very vague when describing it, so let's hope it's gonna be fun. Another version, another batch of new quality of life upgrades. And starting with the first one, after defeating world bosses, they will immediately respawn after claiming the rewards. So no more teleporting back and forth just to reset the fight. Then, the artifact recommender system will undergo some massive changes. Like, for example, the recommended main stat and substats will now be highlighted for the current character, and even when you want to sort the artifacts, those same recommended stats will appear with a thumbs up icon next to them. If that's not enough, a new interface will be added where you can quickly filter through artifacts based on what the recently active players were using, and Hoyo says this data for new characters will become available after 1 week, so this might end up being useful for some. On top of that, we'll also now be able to see the amount of times a substat has been upgraded, which means the memes with crappy artifact rolls will become much more painful to look at. And finally, the artifact inventory limit will be increased by 300, so we will end up with 2,100 artifact limit. Not gonna lie, this is nice, but wish we got a bit more. Oh, and not much has been said about this during livestream, but we can see that Natlan style layout will be added to the Serenity pod, and you will be able to co-op with friends even between world levels 8 and 9. On top of that, training main guide will now be accessible from the character menu via this shortcut, and while this is not quality of life, but Stellar Moments Volume 5 album will soon become available. Anyway, that's pretty much everything you can expect to see in the 5.3 update, so bye bye!